Presidential candidate Rick Santorum today unveiling his plan to slash government spending by $5 trillion over 5 years, just as we're hearing that the nation's debt is now equal to the size of the entire U.S. economy. So, which candidate has the best plan to cut that debt? The Club for Growth's Andy Roth here to maybe hand out some grades. First of all, even cutting $5 trillion over that period leaves you with larger debt over that period than what we've got. It gives you an indication of the Herculean task at hand. But looking at the candidates, how do you grade that? How do you grade their plans?
Well, first of all, before I tell you the grades of each of them, I base them on two things: the policy itself and whether the candidates are believable when they deliver when they promote what they're trying to say. With Santorum, I think he's overcompensating for his less to be desired record when he was in the Senate. $5 trillion over 5 years is more than any other GOP candidate right now. But if you looked at his record when he was in the Senate, he was a prolific earmarker. He supported adding trillions to Medicare. So it's just not believable. He's good on some tax policy by lowering tax rates down to the Reagan levels of 10 and 28% for individuals. But when it comes to spending, it's tough to believe this. So I give him a C on this.
How about Ron Paul?
Ron Paul is actually spectacular, and he's got the track record to back it up. He wants to cut $1 trillion right off the bat and then cut some more going further. He wants to get rid of 5 agencies. He wants to get rid of corporate subsidies. He wants to get rid of a lot of foreign aid. It's very impressive what he's gotten. I think he means it.
Newt Gingrich?
Newt Gingrich is kind of in the Santorum camp. He proposes a lot of great things, repealing a lot of programs like, of course, Obamacare, but Dodd-Frank, Sarbanes-Oxley. He wants to get rid of a ton of things, and he's got a very pro-growth tax plan. He wants to eliminate capital gains, lower the tax rates. He wants to do a lot of things, but his track record is just very, very weak. He supported Part D, Medicare Part D, which expanded entitlements in a huge way. He supported cap and trade with Hillary Clinton. The list goes on and on. So I give him a C as well.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney, for being the front runner, he actually deserves to be in last place on this because it's very uninspired ideas that he has. He barely wants to tinker around with the tax code, and he wants to lower spending to 20% of GDP from its current 24%. That's pretty good, but tax revenue comes in at 18% historically. So he's basically trying to institutionalize a permanent deficit. He talks about doing a balanced budget amendment and talks about tax reform, but it's not a strong part of his platform.
Huntsman?
Huntsman gets an incomplete from me. He's very good on taxes. He's got a lot of good ideas about lowering the tax rate, getting rid of capital gains, but he has no spending program at all. So he gets an incomplete. And I think that he doesn't want to talk about spending just because his record in Utah was very poor on spending as well. He was great on taxes, but bad on spending.
But he had surpluses, right?
Yeah, he did. Well, he did for overall, but I think that he increased spending, but tax revenue went up as well.
Finally, Rick Perry.
Rick Perry, I think, has one of the best, if not the best, plans. He's got a cut, balance, and grow plan where he wants to institute a balanced budget amendment and cap spending at 18%, and then he wants to cut taxes all over the place. That would just really be a pro-growth boon. It'd be eliminating capital gains, lowering corporate tax rates and personal tax rates down to 20%. Very, very strong plan.
Andy, I know with Club for Growth there is sort of a no gray area here, and people like Mitt Romney have gone on the record to say, look, I'm for aggressively cutting spending, but you do too much too fast, you could really rock this economic boat and do a lot of damage. I take it you don't agree with that.
That's politicians speak for wanting to take it easy. I think that the trouble that we're in, we need to take it really quickly. If the GOP candidate gets elected, whoever it is, it's going to have a strong mandate by the voters to get something done quickly. And I think that if they don't do that, this inertia is going to set in, and then the wheels are going to fall off, and we're just going to be back to our old spending ways. We got to do something big, and we got to do it now.
All right. Very good seeing you, Andy. Thank you very much. Andy Roth with the Club for Growth. Well, they say size doesn't matter.